A pleasant good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, depending on the part of the world where you are located. Welcome once again to our channel, and we want to assure you that we are back on track. For the last 2 months we didn't produce a video, but from today onwards you can expect our regular production. As usual, I would like to greet you in my customary style. So I, Imo Rameses Bakari, your psychologist and life coach from the magical community of Point Fortin in Trinidad and Tobago, located in the Southern Caribbean. It is my desire to inspire you to rise higher. It is my desire to inspire you to rise even higher. It is my desire to inspire you to believe in yourself, to continue acting in your best interests. And it is my desire to inspire you so that I can be inspired to continue producing ongoing YouTube videos. This will be done through writing, teaching, counseling, coaching, motivational speaking, feature addresses, and community advocacy. Because after all, you, yes you, are deserving of becoming the best possible versions of yourself, and we are prepared to partner with you in 2025 to ensure that this becomes a reality. So having greeted you, I would also like to bring to you my motivational word for today. And the motivational word for today is to continue to do good, even though you may never be rewarded for doing so. Continue to do good, even though you may never be rewarded for doing so. So, the topic for today is entitled Evil, Puppets, and African Leadership. Once again, I repeat, Evil, Puppets, and African Leadership. So I now give you my perspective on this topic. So the motivational word, I said, doing good, you may never be rewarded. And my advice to all of us at any level of life that we are involved in, continue to do good even though it may not be recognized. I also would like to make the point, whilst being kind is fine, it is often despised. I repeat, whilst being kind is fine, it is often despised, but continue to be kind. Significantly, having sovereignty over your nation, in my view, is divine. Yet, mortal men and outsiders of a particular region or regions of the world take it upon themselves to tell other nations who should govern and how they should govern. Who gave them that authority? But because of the imperialist mentality, because of the imperialist ideology, because of the selfish nature, and because of self-interest, these men believe, and they really believe, and they have acted based on that belief, to tell other nations who should govern and how they should govern. And they have even supported actions contrary to the national development of these nations by facilitating, aiding, and ensuring that they put governments to suit their interests and not the interests of the citizens of the respective countries. So as a result of that, God in His wisdom placed us in different parts of the world. He also provided resources in different parts of the world. But in many parts of the world, for example, the African continent, blessed with every conceivable resource you can think of, they have very little control over those resources. But the big question, the big statement, the fundamental statement is that the resources of any country must be put to use for the benefit of those citizens first and foremost. I repeat, the resources of any country, the gold of Africa, the diamonds, the copper, the silver, the cobalt, the cocoa, the oil, the gas, those resources must be put to use first and foremost for the benefit of those citizens. Other nations can benefit from those resources through fair trade. Other nations can benefit from those resources through fair trade. But we have a situation where a lot of the natural resources of the African continent, they do not have control over it. So those nations who have taken steps within recent times, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, to take control, they are facing the wrath of those who have unfairly exploited those resources for the benefit of their countries. As has been pointed out so many times, many parts of Niger in the recent past were without electricity, yet the uranium from that nation was used to produce electricity in France. France doesn't have a gold mine, yet has the fourth largest reserve of gold in the world. How in heaven's name there is any justice? How in heaven's name there is any godliness in such actions? So that's why I said at the beginning, doing good, whilst it is good, oftentimes it is punished. And we need to support the efforts of those nations to assert their sovereignty and take control of the resources which they are now directing in the interest of their own development. Any other nation benefiting, it must be on fair terms, proper trading arrangements where they can benefit under those terms. But to take the position of controlling what doesn't belong to you, it is unjust, ungodly, and inhumane. So when we look at the continuation of this fight, which is very much on, we have so-called brothers and sisters, we have so-called leaders who are colluding, plotting with outsiders to dethrone and defame their kith and kin. Just imagine, people who looked as those leaders, who look like most of the citizens of the African continent, are working with people outside of the continent to ensure that they remain in stagnation, to ensure that they remain in poverty, whilst their own narrow circles are the beneficiaries. That could never be right. So any steps taken by people of nations to correct that is indeed the correct direction in which they are moving. They have fellow leaders, they have people sometimes within their close circles who are smiling, who are grinning, and yet they are willing to kill their very own who are acting and working sincerely in the interests of their country's development. And as we all know, in Burkina Faso, there have been 18 attempts on the life of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So we know that the plan is to have him dead at any cost, because he symbolized a new direction for the African continent, which is not in the interest of those who have benefited in the past. So when you pay attention to what I have just said, I'm sure you will agree with me that the above position, the above points that I made represent the evil and the puppetry that exists among many nations in the continent of Africa. And we have leaders. There is no shame in terms of the behavior. So I am saying, you the people of Africa, you are becoming increasingly aware of those who are working in your interests, and it is your responsibility to work in a manner to ensure that every puppet leader on the continent of Africa become a remnant of the past. So to you, the youth of the African continent, who have been inspired by your fellow youth, Captain Ibrahim Traore, continue the exercise, continue the movement to ensure that the resources of Africa are used in the interest of Africa, and that you get the kind of leadership that is committed, sincere, authentic, and is working in your best interests. I thank you for listening. I thank you for reflecting. And most importantly, I hope those words would motivate those who may be losing courage in any form to have the faith to continue the work and to work towards the creation of the kind of societies and the kind of nations where everyone can truly benefit. So as usual, we thank you and we remind you to continue to support our work. You can do so by contributing via the account information flashing across the screen. You can contribute via the YP and Patreon links. You can support our ongoing courses. You can call us and book a counseling or coaching appointment. You could buy my book or the other advertised books. Just give us a call at 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779-2544, or email us at leadershipwithadifference@gmail.com. Hold the faith, keep the fight, and stay tuned for another powerful presentation next week. Please God. Bye.